Hi everyone, welcome to a very special webinar with RankSense and OnCrawl. Today we are joined by our host, Elias Dabis, author of Avid Tools, and the founder and director at Holistic SEO, Koray Tuğberk GÜBÜR. Today, Koray is going to demonstrate how to record SERPs and analyze algorithms with Python. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Elias and we can get started.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, great. Thank you everyone for attending. It's great to see people joining us. I hope you enjoy this as much as we enjoyed preparing for it. I'd like to say a special thank you for the RankSense team for all the great work they've done and the preparation. The OnCrawl team as well. They've done a great job with the preparation and helping with the content and promotion and everything. Most importantly, thanks to Hamlet, our friend and brother. Actually, a nice thing was that we were discussing other people hosting this series of webinars. So in a way, we're working according to his plan, and I'm very happy if I can play a tiny role in honoring one of his wishes. So I hope you enjoy it. And our special guest here is Mr. Koray GÜBÜR. How are you, Koray?
I'm fine, Professor. How are you?
Don't professor me, please. Everything okay?
I'm doing fine. And
great. I'm very good. Thank you very much. Ready to take us on the journey for your notebooks?
Okay, I will share my screen.
Before that, we usually like to we'll dig deep into the notebooks, the code, and everything. At the beginning, we like to usually get to know you as a person. So if you can tell us a bit about your journey, about your background, how you got into SEO, into data science, Python, and these things.
So I am in the industry like 6 years, actually more than 6 years, and it was a kind of adventure for me, to be honest.
Okay.
But for data science, the Python
in a sense that it was difficult, it was strange, it was.
Okay. Actually, Hamlet made me start to learn Python, and you made me start to learn data science. So,
okay.
You both are complementing my journey. And for the Python, I didn't code before, to be honest. I have a marketing background. I don't know how to code like for all of my life until the last year, maybe. In 2019, in 2019, I was working with a company and I wasn't so happy, to be honest. And during the unnecessary happy hour, I have encountered one of the Hamlet's articles. It was about automating the alt text of images with machine learning and with Python. And it's still in the search engine journal column of the Hamlet. And after reading it, I have realized that I can do this too. And after a point, I have opened the code editor and started typing. And after a point, it was easier than before. And I have started to understand code.
Great. So what made it easier? Like, how did you? So that article was your moment when you decided to get into coding Python?
Yes, actually, because for a long time I wanted to do something different, and because I was a kind of in search. And when I read Hamlet's articles, it didn't stop there. He continued to publish great articles, great tutorials, and amazing work. After a point, I realized that I will do this or I will change my industry, because he is a really pioneer. He was, at least, and he was changing everything for me. And I wanted to follow him, and I wanted to do the same things. And after a point, he offered me this webinar, and like 3 months ago, and I have created 2 really long Jupyter notebooks for him. And as you know already, I have also published an article for his name or legacy.
Yes, you broke Twitter yesterday. I know.
Thank you.
So how did you that's great. It's great to know that that his work has impacted you so much. That's wonderful. How did you learn? Like you just opened the code and started?
Yeah, it's actually something different. To be honest, it wasn't easy for me because my workplace was at the European side of Istanbul, and I
Okay.
live in the Anatolian side. So I had to spend 4 days every day in the traffic. And also, there are other things that I had to do at that time, and I didn't give up. I was reading and listening the coders. So I was
Okay.
using the headphone. Like if I can't look at a phone screen, for instance, I was listening to codes, and when I go to the home, I was repeating it. And sometimes I was even learning how to, of course. And sometimes I was even learning coding while in the gym, you know. I was lifting the weights.
By
Then
listening as well?
yes, listening, but not just listening. From your phone, you can actually code, right? You can use your phone to write code. Because, and I remember that there was an app that belongs to Google, Grasshopper. I learned JavaScript thanks to that app. And
Wow.
I was lifting weights, then I was resting, and also I was reading, listening, and try to learn parameters, functions, or data types, etc. So it wasn't easy, but if you want it really, you can do it.
Wonderful. Great. Yes, it definitely needs hard work and concentration, especially if you don't have the background. I'm like you. I don't have an engineering or a programming background, and it was a bit different. So what do you advise someone who's just starting right now? So I know SEO, I've been in the industry, let's say, for 5-6 years. And I've heard a lot. I've heard like a million times about this Python of yours and your data science and machine learning.
Yeah.
So what do I do? Where do
So
I start? What do you advise me?
actually, I will advise you that first, do not try to memorize everything. That was one of the biggest mistakes that I have done, because you can't memorize it if you don't have a photographic memory. And
Okay.
if you forget some functions or some parameters, it's okay. Human can forget things. Our brains are not perfect. So, because in the hacker movies, we see that everyone is hacking a bank like in 15 seconds, but in
Yeah, he
real
has
life, it's
everything in
not.
his mind and does it in 2 minutes.
Yes, and in real life, it's not like that. And most of the time, you just need to write 50 lines of code. But writing all of the 50 lines of code is not so easy, and it requires time. So you should be patient. Do not try to memorize anything, actually. Just learn how to read documentation. If you can read the documentation properly, you will be better. And also try to learn by one by. So the thing that I mean, I try to learn Python, JavaScript, and other types of things at the same time. And it's not the right decision
Okay.
because it is like learning English and French at the same time. You will confuse the words and etc.
Okay, so that's great advice. I think I agree, especially if you're beginning. So don't learn 5 languages at the same time. Learn one of them. Once you're comfortable with that, then you can see if you focus on others. So are you using Python in your daily work, like every day? Do you rely on it?
Yes, I am using for basically every kind of SEO related task. I use it. Sometimes I use it for page speed or page speed comparison. Sometimes I use it for tracking the robots.txt file. Sometimes I just use it for comparing the sitemaps or taking the last content of a site.
So now this is part of your daily toolkit. It's not just something that you write a tutorial about. You actually use it. A client calls you at Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. They ask you for something. You actually use Python tools to do actual work.
Yes, definitely I use it, and most of the time actually I use Editor tools and Pandas. About also for presentation, I also use Plotly, and there are other types of great modules or libraries for SEO or SEO related tasks to be honest.
So do you have any favorites, like the ones that you think people who are beginning should take a look at that are essential tools?
Actually, yes, I can suggest some of them. And the Adword tools is actually the most related model for SEO. To be honest, I am not saying that you are because you are the author, but it is, to be honest.
Okay.
And also, there are other different types of methodologies. You can automate lots of things with Python, and you don't have to spend your time. You can find internal link opportunities with Python. You can take, maybe you can calculate PageRank also in your own special way. And also, you can blend the data, aggregate the data, visualize the data, or manipulate the data. It's up to you.
Great. So you found it's given you more flexibility to do things the way you want,
yes,
in any way you want, in terms of moving data around, visualizing
yes,
it.
and also one of the main things about coding, it doesn't have a limit. The limit is actually your vision, if you know how to code.
Yes.
But if you try to perform everything with a no-code mentality, usually you will be limited. And if you do something with no code, your competitor will also do that. But if you know how to code and also you are creative, you will be faster and you will have more flexible options or possibilities for your projects, to be honest. And it's a great advantage for an SEO.
So this allows you to do more unique work, unique stuff, that exactly what you want to do, and you're not stuck with something that gives you certain defaults that you have to just
I have created my company like 6 months ago, and thanks to Python, actually it's faster, and I have more than 15 clients. I am creating a team, and I will educate them with Python also, because they have to use it at the moment. And I can say that it is mostly thanks to coding, to be honest.
Great.
Because if you don't use it, you will be slower and you won't be able to scale lots of tasks. And also the custom visualization or data will help you to convince and also educate your client.
Great.
So it's always better. That's
wonderful. Great. So we're gonna go through one of those unique things that you have gone through, and you're going to share with us. So if you want, we can start with the notebook that you have for us.
Okay.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yes, I will share my screen, and at the moment I can't share it because, okay, maybe now. Okay, now I will be able to share.
Okay.
So, okay, before the beginning, I will tell you two different things. We have different types of audience here. Some of them know how to code, and some of them are really great experts. I know that because I have invited them personally.
Okay.
And most of the audience is actually a little bit newbie or new to coding. So because of this situation, there are two different notebooks here. This is the advanced one. And also we already published an article. Probably this is the biggest work for data science visualization and SEO interception for now. Okay. And of course, it is thanks to Hamlet. And there is a great picture of him here. And if you want to support his family, you can use this link. I assume that some of our audience already did it. And here actually we have everything you can do for some certain data. And this is the advanced one. But for this webinar, we will use this file. We will take the search engine result pages and animate the differences and find some patterns on them.
Okay, so just today we're going to go through getting SERP results, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna first see how to design the data that we have and get the results, schedule it, and well, I mean, you lead us. You tell us the plan if you want.
Okay, I will. So basically, in this section,
sorry, one moment. Can you make the text a bit bigger? I'm not sure if everyone can see clearly.
Now it's better, I think.
Great. Okay. If ever, I think it's good. Sorry. Okay. Cool. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically in this notebook there will be 5 different sections. First, I will introduce the modules and also the function that we will use. Then I will show you how to schedule it or how to plan it.
Okay.
Then I will show you how to unite different search engine results. Then we will animate it. Then also I will show you some of the limits that we have at the moment. So basically the task is clear. We will take search engine results for certain queries with determined periods or time periods. Then we will unite them. We will
these are going to be the same queries run multiple times in different time intervals, right?
Yep. Yes.
So we can see if there are differences in the same keyword. Like we're going to ask for the same query more than one time across time.
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
and
cool.
These are the modules that I have used. This is the schedule, and I assume that I have a kind of documentation somewhere here. Maybe there should be a link at the bottom for that. I will show it later.
Okay.
We have schedule, advert tools, and if you wonder what advert tools is, you can check this link here. And also, I know that we already shared it in the chat section. You can check it. And we have lots of things here. But in this notebook, we will use the Serp Google or Serp book function.
Great.
So this is the Pandas. It's a fundamental module of Python for data science. This is Plotly Express. Plotly Express is a kind of optimized or compressed methodology of Plotly. So basically, you will write less code for better visualizations. That's why we are using Plotly Express. This is Glob, and Glob is for uniting the CSV outputs. This is time and date time. These are for output names or for the scheduling part.
And so, the first four are not standard Python libraries, right?
Yes, actually.
The last 3 are available in Python as standard library, and the first 4 are separate libraries that you have to install separately, right?
Yep. Yes, okay. You will need to install this.
Schedule is clear what it does. Advert tools is for getting the SERP results, and Pandas is for data manipulation, you said. And Plotly and Plotly Express to visualize data and see and summarize it in a visual way. Great. Okay.
So at the second section, we have custom search engine ID and API key. And I will explain what they are easily. And custom search engine API key can be taken or obtained via the Google Developer Console account. You can create an account here for free. And after you create a project, you will need to enable the custom search engine API within your project. Then you will come to the credentials section and you will generate an API key. And I will terminate this API key later. But
so this is just for the people who are not familiar. This is basically you generating a password.
Yes, actually, and in the article, it has already been shown step by step.
Great. So this password, you will send it with every request, so that Google knows that this is you and they can charge you for it or whatever. This is for you to log in, basically, and because it's an API key, you can manage it differently from passwords. You can disable it, you can put limits on it, you can give it to people or deactivate it, and so on.
Yep.
So this is the API key, and this is the search engine, custom search engine, right?
Yes. Programmable search engine, custom search engine, or topical search engine. It has different names. And if you are an SEO, I think you should use this, not just for a kind of internal site-based search engine. You can manipulate the search engine results here based on certain aspects like knowledge graph entities or schematic org types. You should definitely use these two. I already used this in this section.
So you suggest people use it for their websites to use this custom search engine?
Yes, actually they can do that too, but also they can use this API or app for understand the search engine in a better way, because there are lots of data that programmable search engine can give you in the name of SEO, to be honest.
So this custom search engine is as we can see here is a normal search box like Google, where you can display on your website, and people can search and get results. But you can also get results programmatically. So you can send the request and get all the results in a table without having them displayed on a page. So this is the trick, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, great.
And if you want, we can start to the function section.
Okay.
Okay. And I have called this function Serp heartbeat, because you can take every heartbeat of the Serp. And I didn't use any kind of parameter here because I didn't want to make this function more complex or complicated for our audience. So this is basically a basic example here. And only 5 lines of code. And you can write whatever query you want here. And also these are the parameters of the Serp book or Serp Google function of AdWord tools. So basically here we are using this custom search engine ID and API key for the custom search.
So this, whenever you call this function, the key and the custom search engine have to be provided, and they will be sent as your login details to Google. And this list is a list of keywords that you want results for, right?
Yes, definitely.
So when you run this, it's going to get you calories in pizza and calories in Big Mac. Okay.
Yes. And also we have date and date time now here. It means that we are taking the current time, the time of now, and then we are changing its format. And then we are using it in our output files names. So in other words, we will give the current time to our outputs names, and so that they can be filtered or they can be united easier. And this is the prefix that I use for uniting them. It's Serp, you can change it as you want later.
So because we're dealing with the same table basically for the same keywords in multiple times, we are renaming the files according to the moment when the request was made. So we will have file 1 called Serp 2021 January 15th, whatever, and this is .csv, and then we can do whatever we want with them. So we can get the results for January, results in March, and see how the ranks have changed, because we're comparing apples to apples. We're comparing the same keywords in 1 week ago to this week or hours ago or whatever.
Yes, and also we can take hours, minutes, or seconds too. So this is the function, and for scheduling it, as I said before, there are 2 different methods. You can use the schedule library. For instance, I am saying here that run this function for every 13 minutes with this while loop. So basically, I am saying that in every 30 minutes, wait just 1 second and then run it again. So the function will run in every 30 minutes, and it will use this time within the output file and also give us an output file with
great. And these intervals, you can change them the way you want. You can say do the same thing every 20 minutes, every 2 days, every whatever you want.
Yes, definitely.
So this is more like this is just my observation that I'd like to share. It's more like the way we think. Because if this sentence, it doesn't look like normal natural language, but it's natural to read. Schedule every 30 minutes, do Serp heartbeat.
Yep.
Like what I want to share with everyone is that this is as concise as a thought. Like if you wanted to think about this, not even talk about it, if you want to think about it, you would say, I want to do this every 30 minutes. Do this, and this has been saved in a previous function. So it's becoming very natural and close to the way we think. We just have to learn some syntax and some more details about how programming works in this language.
Yes, definitely. And also we have a second methodology here. If you don't want to use schedule, you can use basic Python modules for it. This is another while loop. Basically here I am saying that run this function in every seconds on like 99 times. You can change this. And also if you want to run it for every 13 minutes, you can use 1800 value here because it is equal to 30 minutes. The value here is actually in seconds. So basically you can use different values here for taking the search engine results pages.
Wonderful.
And these are the scheduling functions. For instance, you can run this function like every hour or every day at like a specific time, or like every 5 minutes, or every Wednesday at this time, or every minute at the 17th second. It's up to you. And also you can.
Can I do it when I'm having a tuna sandwich, for example? Does it know?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't like it. No. Okay, cool. So I have full flexibility of.
Sorry for this.
No problem. I have full flexibility in just wishing how this would run, and I could tell it, and it would run it every day, every hour, twice every Monday, and so on.
Yes. So
Great.
there are again two different methodologies here. One, in the section we will unite the search engine results. We already have that. Before the animation, you will need to unite all of the search engine results. In other words, all of the output files. And you can create multiple variables and read all of the CSV files one by one, but it is not useful in this case, to be honest, because there are lots of, maybe thousands of search engine result page examples here. Okay. But you can't do this one by one. Because of the situation, we have used a glob model here. Basically, here I am using a kind of regex value. I am saying that takes all of the CSV files if they are starting with str string, and basically I am taking all of them into a kind of variable. Okay. Then I am using the concat method of Pandas, and also a kind of list comprehension or maybe set comprehension methodology here in a way. And basically here I am saying that read all of the CSV files here and concat it within this variable. And after doing that, I am removing.
So this is also like the same one we did a few minutes ago. Like the way you think about it, you're telling it to go to a certain folder and get any file that starts with str and ends with .csv. Yeah. And you don't need to know what else is there in the folder. They could be like a million other files. You just tell it to extract only the ones that start with str and end with .csv, read them each into a table and concatenate them all into one data frame. You're going to call it Serp CSV, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And Serp CSV is this thing that we're seeing right now, right?
Yep, actually it is. And also I have used this option so that we can see all of the columns here. To be honest, custom search engine or programmable search engine gives us lots of different columns. Wait a second. It doesn't move.
133 columns. Is that said at the bottom? How much? How many?
Yes. Let me check. No, it is just 100. Yeah, 133. But usually it is larger actually. Okay. Because there is not a certain value for the columns. It changes according to the sources. If the source has a different feature or attribution or any kind of different dimension, programmable search engine adds another column here for here.
So which are the standard ones? Like which are the ones that are available in every query that we can always rely on and use?
Display link, title, snippet, rank, search terms, and links. Total results are also basic ones. Okay.
I think these are clear. Query time is when you've done the query. The title, the snippet. These are not standard ones, right?
Yes, these are not standard. And also, once probably I have taken more than 800 columns because according to sources, there are lots of things that search engine cares, and in the mainstream SEO media we don't talk about this, but they actually tell us that we want to see this or we check these dimensions or features, whether a source has it or not. So also they don't give all of the columns for every function call because they want to give or they want to experience smaller payloads. So if it doesn't exist for a source, they don't use that column. So basically this is a search engine. Yep. Now we will go to the animation section, to be honest. Okay. Before the animation section, I have chosen one query, as you know already.
Sorry, one second. So we have, when you say 600 rows, does that mean that we have 61 SERPs, right? Each one has 10?
Yep.
So we have 61 SERPs. Each one of them has 10 rows, and this is all in one table for us. And the difference, this is the same SERP repeated 61 times. The only difference is the time of running this SERP, right?
Yes. And
so we're calories in pizza, calories in pizza, calories in pizza. We have 61 of those, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And in this section, I have created a new column and I have given a kind of value so that we can use a scatter plot with this type of size for the bubbles. And I have filtered the data frame for just the pizza or calories in pizza results. And
okay, that's interesting because here you can be very flexible in what you match, right? You can say show me the pizza ones or the burgers or whatever you want, and you can do group the results the way you want. So okay, we have 610 things. It's very large. It's difficult to understand. How do we summarize it immediately to just see what's going on?
Yes. And this is the plot express function for scatter plot, and it has lots of parameters, but all of the parameters are actually semantic, so you can understand them easily. So basically, in the x-axis, we are using the display link. In the y-axis, we are using the rank. And in the animation frame section, we are using the index column. It means that we are using the times of the function call so that we can animate the search engine results differences.
So you just choose a certain column from the data frame and it figures it out. So when you said px.scatter pizza SERP is this table we're looking at on top, right?
Yes, I have created it here.
Okay, so I'm telling Plotly Express I want to visualize pizza SERP. That's step one, right?
Definitely.
On the x-axis, I want the display link. So it's going to go to the column named display link, right?
Yes.
For the x-axis, and for the y-axis, I want the rank.
Ranks, yes. And for the animation,
so I could have on the y-axis, I could have had the number of results, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And in the animation frame section, I am using the index column or index section for the timing, and also we have color. Basically, I am saying that group all of the bubbles according to sources and show every source in a different color. Okay. And this is the hover name. It means that if you hover into a bubble, you will see the display link or link of the search result, URL of the result. As the data, you will see the query or search term, also title of that URL and rank of that URL. And this is already false. If you sometimes I use it, but in this example I won't. Okay. This is just for height, this is for width, and this is for a kind of design issue. You want to give a bigger space to the plot. That's why I am starting from -1. This is for the bubble side. This is for text. It means that this text will be on the bubbles. And this is the color template. This is title, and this is the title of the X and Y axis. So this is a little bit important because this was hard to find, to be honest, and I have found it in this channel, Charming Data. If you want to learn data visualization, I guess you should check this channel because there are lots of great things here. And to be honest, I don't know the owner. This is not sponsored or something like that. I just learned lots of things from here.
Adam is a nice guy.
I guess.
He is.
So basically here I am saying that reserve half seconds for every frame and 1 second for transition. So basically, this is a kind of CSS, you know, transition duration and frame duration. It is close.
This is the transition of animating the results across the time, right?
Yes, definitely. Okay. And these are the basic ones. I am just changing the title fonts for X axis and Y axis. Then I am calling the animation inline. So render notebook means that render the plot in the notebook.
Okay.
So basically, I will need to a little bit zoom out here so that we can see all of them. So okay, basically we have all of the results here. When you hover it, you see that, for instance, this URL is modpizzanov.com, nutrition, YouTube, Verilift, Domino's, etc., etc. When I press the play button, you will see that search engine results are moving. And you can see all of the timeline here. It's up to you. And you can do this for every query. And if you look carefully, Google is testing the size, and certain size are switching certain size in terms of their position.
What's the interval here?
Query, you mean?
The interval. How many? What's the time difference between these dances?
I guess I am trying to check here, like maybe 20 seconds or something like that.
Wow.
Or maybe 20 minutes or something like that.
Okay.
See that. And at the below, also I have another example for calories in Big Mac. So basically everything is actually the same here. I just filtered it. I gave a size for the bubbles. I have called the first five rows from the data frame. Then I have used plot express scatter plot here. And for this time, I have used a different color palette, and you can see it here, plot the dark. And also, I have just changed a little bit of durations. That's it. So this is for the calories in Big Mac, and this is an article news, and it basically says, I can see it titled here, How a Big Mac Affects Your Body in 1 Hour. So basically here, try to focus on every site, because certain sites will take other certain size places. I am starting it. So basically you can see how they are moving for certain times.
Nice.
And yes, and these news articles don't stop, and eventually it takes the first rank, and McDonald's is here. Okay. So yes, also I have watched the most expensive queries on Google for just 8 hours. This was really fun, and it was like a war. I will animate it later. And the function is same. I have just changed the queries here. You can see them. And I have just changed the prefix. I have just written here expensive. And then I have taken the results like every minute, like for 8 hours, every minute. And as I can remember, maybe I have it somewhere here. Let me check it. Yeah. And I have made this amount of requests.
Wow. Like 2,700 requests. Wow.
Yeah. It means that we have 2,704 search engine result page example for these queries for just 8 hours. Based on every minute. So basically I have filtered the query here. I have used the credit calculation, and everything is same as you can see. I just use the query time, and I am coming to the animation section here, but look at here. The animation frame time just will be 50 milliseconds, so it will be fast, really fast. And also I have to say that if you use too many example frames in a plotly, sometimes it will broken. So for instance, the last URL here, or last source here, when it changes, all of the domains will slide to the right section as horizontally a little bit. So it's up to plotly, but you should focus on here, because you will see that government sites are taking place of the normal size, like com size. And I am starting it. It's like a fight.
Okay.
And this is the last side. It changes its place sometimes. Okay. You can see that the minutes are yet taking each other, and these sides are fighting. And sometimes this government and this normal side, sometimes this government side is fighting to each other.
Wow.
Yes.
So we have a visualization of a movie of the SERPs.
Yes.
And it's for the same queries. So you see the development and movement across time for everything.
Yes. For instance, our source here has changed. Credit Karma is now in the first page. And
Nice.
also you have seen that the first two results are fighting each other, like they are taking their places like a civil war. They are trying to kill each other. And in this section, in the next section actually, I will show more examples. And because you don't have to animate the search engine results based on just hours or minutes, you can just use days also.
Sure.
And for this notebook, for the advanced one, I have used culinary fruits, a kind of fruit type. And I have used Pandas read HTML function here. Basically, it takes all of the HTML tables from a web page. I have taken them and I have concatenated them as a kind of Pandas data frame. Then I have used list comprehension for creating different queries. Calories in apple, calories in Chinese queens, calories in, I don't know what this is, or kaki apple, and etc. At the bottom section, it is nutrition. So basically, all of these queries are semantic. And also we have more than 900 of queries here. And I have chosen this type of query because this is actually a kind of subtopic. Because if you have a kind of topical authority for this type of queries, it means that you really care about fruits or foods. Because most of these entities don't have really search demands. Who knows Nepali or plum? I don't know. So these are real things: Spanish cherries, Spanish lime, etc.
So the same fruit is for calories and nutrients, right?
Yes.
You have two variants for each keyword.
Yes.
Okay.
And basically here, I am uniting all of the search engine results, and these results starts in the December 2020 and it ends in the 2021 January. So basically we have I have make this function call function work like 3 times only with 20 days difference or something like that. So basically some of the results are from before the core algorithm update. Some of them are from the after the core algorithm update. And here I am creating a new column. It is created day. I am using a kind of lambda function here, and basically I delete this section. I don't need hours, minutes, or something like that. I am just taking the year, month, and day. And as you can see, this is the first day I have made this function called work, and this is the last day of the search engine results. So basically, at the bottom section, before the animation, I will also show you another thing. Sorry. Okay. In this section, you will see that we are using a kind of data visualization example for different dates. And for every different date, you see that every source and their rankings within different bar sections. If you hover for a kind of section, you will see search terms, titles, links, etc. And you also can use a kind of density heat map here because it is actually the right option here for this type of.
Are you visualizing the same data in a different way here?
Yeah, actually I will do that. And I am suggesting to use density heat map here because it is the correct way for data visualization here. And I have deleted the color parameter because you don't need for density heat map. For instance, we have 3 different ranking results here. It says that Healthline has better results for this date, And also here, it's a little bit darker because it lost a little bit some of its best results here. So basically, you can also use these type of heat maps for animating search engine results or explain.
What do we have on the x-axis? It's the rank, right?
Yes, these are the ranks. These are the sources. For instance, here, MyFitnessPal has 5 results at the first rank. And here it is again 5. And here it's 5, but also this section increased.
And the color is for the frequency of appearance on that rank place. So if the more yellow it is, the more frequent it is. I can see 10 is yellow, and the darker ones are less frequent.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
And also in this section, I will animate multiple results at once. As you can see, calories in apple and calories in Queens. So basically, I have only 3 examples here. I am starting it. It's like an earthquake because during this time they have experienced a kind of core algorithm update. And from the audience, I want you to focus on same source. Okay, for instance, we have Calorie King here, we have Calorie King here. Okay, focus on just Calorie King and try to see the semantic search behavior. Okay, it makes the same move for different queries. Now focus on Healthline. It makes the same move again. And also now focus on the nutritionics. Again, it makes the same move in a semantic order, as you can see. So basically these are listening.
No, just said great.
Okay. So basically here we have 2 different phrases, but actually these query terms or search phrases are basically the same because the search intent is same. Calories in apple or calories in Queens. So basically this is the nature of semantic search and actually the topical authority. Google changes certain sources with certain sources for same type of queries. So in the next section, I have only 2 different results. I will just scroll it. You can also take the first or top 10 domains for the search engine results, and you can check all of them at once. You also can animate all of them at once, but it's not so useful because Plotly won't let you to do that, to be honest.
It becomes too complicated.
Yes, you can animate maybe 4 different results at top at the same time. If you animate all of these at the same time, as you can see, it is a little bit broken, you know. It's not perfect. And also here, I have all of the domains, their rankings, URLs, titles for every query here. And if you animate this, also it will be broken because of the Plotly. It's not my fault.
Okay.
So try to animate lesser results at the same time.
Definitely.
And this is the last section, guys, for this notebook. Here, actually, we are using a kind of sentence. And I didn't have all of the queries here. I didn't use all of them. Basically here, I am taking the topical coverage for every source, their average ranking for these queries, and their appearance on the SERP for different queries. And here, we actually have really more and more and more and more and more and more. Basically, that's it. And you can use this article, or you can go to my GitHub repo, and you can use this file with Jupyter Notebook NV Viewer. You will render all of the data here, and you will see everything. And lastly, I will tell our audience that all of these data here are actually from 3 months ago. And I didn't run these notebooks after that moment. If you take this data or take these notebooks, and if you run them again, you will see the differences for search engine results. And here, actually, we have crawled all of the landing pages, and we have taken page counts, response sizes, backlinks, domain authorities, n-gram analysis, or entities of contents, word count, and the most used words within titles, or the most used word patterns within contents. We have taken their internal links, anchor texts, and we have there everything, to be honest, the questions or numeric values, HTML document extensions or document dates and their average rank correlations. And we have done this for every source, but I have compared Helpline against the MyFitnessPal here. And basically, MyFitnessPal has better rankings, but Helpline has better success. So you will see different content strategies and different sources and their perspectives with entities, words, phrases, and everything. For instance, these are the entity types here. And at the bottom section, we have word counts or internal link count, anchor text, etc., schema types for based on rankings or based on sources, like here. And you can check this. You can create your own data science templates, and you can take semantic queries. And whenever Google makes a minor or major update, you can come here. You can just click here, okay, run all, and then you can compare the results. Okay, which source changed what, and how the search engine results pages changed based on what. For instance, this is for response latency. We also have domain ratings, as I said before, or total query count, and etc. This is like endless, so I won't show all of them, but I recommend you to check them. That's it.
Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you very much. There's a lot to go through here, and there's a lot of questions and comments, so we can transition there if you want.
Yes, I am okay with that.
So okay, how do we, Brittany, do you have a preference of which questions we start with?
Yeah, a good question to start with would be, what about the accuracy? Is this method better than paid tools which are trying to scrape Google, and why? Do you have any benchmark? How different is this way from the real SERP? Doesn't Google use more signals in the real SERP? And what if they will close this way? It's also in the chat. I know I said that kind of quickly.
Okay. First of all, to be honest, accuracy is 100%, because this is not search engine result page scraping. We don't scrape the results. We are taking the result from Google's own database. So all of the results are directly from Google, and there is no personalization or localization for these results. If you want to use localization, you also can use the localization parameters. They are here. You can also take some certain resources or results according to the whether they link a site or not, or they use a word or not, or they are from a kind of region or not. You can also take the image search results, and there are lots of filter options here. You can also take the first 100 results too. So I can say that the accuracy will be 100%. And in terms of the benchmark, I don't fully understand that section, but if you ask me that, do we have a kind of limit? No, you don't have a limit. You can take every kind of result from Google, and you can use this data. You can crawl all of the pages. You can take all of the data, blend them, aggregate them, manipulate them, filter them, or visualize them to understand the search engine's decision trees, like it.
Great.
Is enough?
So we can go through the chat and see the questions. Like, you can go ahead and answer the ones.
Okay, I am waiting. There are lots of questions. If you want, I can choose what, or you can choose to tell me.
Go ahead.
Pick whichever one.
Yes, you can extract entities from landing pages. In the search engine, custom search engine section, you have this type of section, okay? If I write here an entity, for instance, if you write here Apple, like, you will see different entities here. If you choose the fruit one or brand, it's up to you. And if you run this function again, all of the results will be restricted for just that entity. And in this article, at the bottom section, I have shown some of the examples. You can check it also. And okay, I will check some of the. Yes. Yes. Okay, I couldn't choose.
Here's a good question that we had. For when you scheduled this to check the SERPs, do you have to leave the notebook open in the browser?
Actually, yes. That's why I am using a kind of remote desktop or remote server here. For instance, the data that I have already shown you here are coming from this example. You see this, right? I have connected to my remote server at the moment.
But you can run 2 notebooks at the same time, right?
Yes. Yes.
Even
yes,
on your local desktop, you can run
yes.
a notebook.
Basically, you can connect or you can hire a kind of VPS server. You can open it and you can call this function here. You see all of the results here. I have already used this data and I have showed them. The people also ask results. As I know, for now, we can't. Right, Elias?
You can't what?
We can't get the people also ask the results or question at the moment.
Not to my knowledge. It's just the results themselves, and people also ask. I think you have to scrape it with direct crawling.
Yes, but if it will help you, you can extract all of the questions from the landing pages. I have already shown that, so you can extract all of the questions from all of the sources.
This is by crawling the landing pages, you mean?
Yeah.
And this is another part we didn't cover, but this is also very interesting. I think if you want to talk a bit about it, or
say it again. I was reading. Sorry.
Crawling the SERP, the top landing pages, and taking information about them and combining it with the SERP results and seeing if you can figure out something.
Yes, actually.
Before Koray answers that, I just wanted to say we only have a few minutes left, so this will be the last question he answers. This will be the last question he answers live. But I have provided contact information for Elias and Koray in the chat. So if anyone has any remaining questions, you can go ahead and message them there. So after this question, we'll just have a last few announcements, and then that will be it. And now Rebecca will tell you about OnCrawl.
So this webinar has been brought to you by OnCrawl and RankSense. So OnCrawl, if you're not familiar with this, is a technical and data SEO platform to help you make smarter SEO decisions. So as a platform, it's composed of different components. We have an SEO crawler, a log analyzer, connectors to different sources of data like Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and custom data that you might get from another tool. And OnCrawl Labs, which is our R&D environment with machine learning and data science projects. Today, our platform has over 1,000 customers in diverse industries around the world who audit their sites in order to improve their organic traffic, their rankings, and online revenues by opening Google's black box. This platform, our technologies, and our innovations have recently been recognized across the SEO industry across the world over the past several years. We do have a free trial, so if you're interested in checking it out, you can head over to oncrawl.com/trial.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, and thank you to OnCrawl. This webinar was also brought to you by RankSense. RankSense is an SEO solution that runs on Cloudflare. Using Google Sheets, you can implement SEO changes on thousands of pages with just a few clicks, no developers required. RankSense can monitor your site for SEO issues, track the activity of search engine bots that visit, and automatically create meta descriptions using the power of artificial intelligence. Get in touch with us for an extended free trial at support@ranksense.com. Once again, thank you all for attending. I have put in the chat the link to our YouTube channel as well as our Twitter. If you want to check out Koray Tutorial, go ahead. This recording will be posted to our RankSense YouTube channel later. I would like to thank Elias and Koray and Rebecca for joining us. You were great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Thank you.
Have a great day to everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.